that your name on the screen is correct and who you're representing here today. I'll start with Mr. Hampton. Mr. Hampton, if you could unmute.
Yes, I'm here. I'm Steve Hampton. I'm the architect. I'm representing the property owner.
Okay, great. Welcome. Mr. Munzel from the zoning department is here. Hi, Wes.
Good morning.
Morning. And we have someone under the name Jacob. Is that person with us?
Yes, good morning. This is Jacob Whitty. I am a neighbor of the property under review.
Okay, could you spell your last name for me?
It's W-I-T-T-E.
Okay, great. And Mr. Whitty, are you planning on providing any testimony here today or asking any questions, or are you just observing?
I am not. I'll just be observing.
Okay, great. And Mr. Hampton, are we expecting anyone else to join us from the applicant owner side before we get started?
I don't believe so.
Okay, great. Let's go ahead and get going then. This is the October 11th, 2023 session of the zoning hearing examiner docket. The case before us today is case number Zh20230146. That's 2127 Rice Street. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any potential opposing parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. Excuse me. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any potential opposing party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. If we had anyone here from the public that wanted to provide any testimony, they would have an opportunity to do that after you had presented your case as the applicant. I will hear from the zoning department, Mr. Munzel, any testimony that he would like to add in addition to his staff report. In the event that any party testifies or offers argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to rebut that testimony and or argument that was offered in opposition. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make any closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. Let's see, in the event of any technical difficulties with the Zoom technology, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those on the fly. But to the extent that there is some defect that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with this hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay, I just need to swear in all of our witnesses that are going to testify. So Mr. Hampton and Mr. Munzel, if you could raise your right hand, I need you to answer out loud. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you shall give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Mr. Hampton, are you ready to proceed?
Sure thing.
Floor is yours.
Thank you. So what we have is a proposed new single-family home on a currently vacant lot. This lot historically, like most of the neighborhood, was built to the property line. I had submitted some of the aerial photos showing that. Over the years, many things have been demolished. So what we're proposing is building a 3-story single-family home adjacent to the street and with a 3-foot setback on one side, basically the west side of the lot. The current zoning has a rather large front and side setback, so we are asking for a variance for that. And technically variance for the buildable envelope. So we do not exceed our 35 feet or our buildable envelope. We also do not exceed the 8-foot depth for excavation. From what we submitted, there will be a slight change. There's a little bit of grading, tweaking that we're doing based on the actual elevations in the site. However, nothing will exceed what we've submitted in the packet. So again, basically, we're asking to be able to build this to what historically has been in the neighborhood and what the adjacent building to the right has very similar lot lines as well.
Sorry, I don't usually do that. I know that you're under the excavation and fill limit. Is this going to create any sort of cliff-like slopes or excessively high retaining walls or anything like that?
No.
Okay. let's see, is the park across the street, is it a park across the street? I know that.
Yes, but it's the hill. It's the very steep hill at the bottom of Jackson Hill Park. So there's really not any usable park area across the street. So it's that real steep cliff, basically.
Okay, and it's all looks like it's pretty heavily wooded there too.
Yeah.
I've been on the other portion of the park, but never that deep. So there's no there won't be any public viewing areas that will be blocked or anything like that.
Correct.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think that's all the questions I have now. I think I'll turn it over to Wes. Wes, anything you wanted to add here?
Good morning. I just want to highlight that he has a conforming height, and the cut and fill is also conforming. But I did want to confirm with Mr. Hampton. He had touched base with me yesterday about the slight change you mentioned. But what is the first floor is still staying at 681, and then what's the change to the existing grading or the existing because the cut and fill is, only a couple of feet, but is it changing? What is it changing to? Like the existing grade shows 679 in the area of the house. Do you know what the more accurate number is?
Yeah, give me a second. I can
Sure.
pull that up here.
And the house is actually shifted forward, matching the house next door's front setback, and then the topography does drop off in the rear, so that's another kind of justification for shifting it forward to lessen the fill.
Yeah. So what we've got is the Rice Street's got a pretty good slope, so our cross slope on the site's a little more extreme. So as we've been tweaking kind of where that's at, basically the garage will be about 2 feet, 2.5 feet lower than the finished floor elevation. So that would be like 678 or so. And then just our standard, 3 foot depth below that. So, but basically we're kind of that garage is matching the grading at the street. So we're not digging more than the elevation at the street. It's just where our finished floor lined up. We had to, for comfort, we had to kind of drop that a little bit. So.
Okay, so the garage will be at like 678, matching the sidewalk.
Yep.
And then does it step up at the back of the garage, like a
Correct.
couple feet to the first floor?
Correct.
So the first floor still is at 681?
Correct.
Okay. And then, so that's fine. That actually, is more conforming to the existing topography. And then you're stepping it because you're doing a step up for the first floor.
Correct.
But as far as the existing grade and on the survey, is it still in the 679 range? Like that didn't change as much?
Correct. It's
okay.
Yeah, I mean the contractor shot grades and it's just a little bit more refined. So
Okay.
what he shot out there than the one big general sweeping topo, but it's generally correct. So yes.
Okay. So David, I would actually conclude that the change Mr. Hampton is outlining, which doesn't show on the section design drawing of page 5, but the garage excavation will be more closely matching the existing topography, and therefore the cut and fill is still conforming to the 8-foot limit. So my recommendation doesn't change or anything. I just wanted to understand exactly what the change was on the design side. So thanks.
Gotcha. So are the design changes you all are discussing, are those included in the application materials on Cages and project docs, Wes? I mean, do I have the most up-to-date drawings and plans?
Mr. Hampton just emailed me yesterday about the refinement, but do you have a drawing you can show us right now to kind of get into the record, or that'll be Mr. Sturkey's decision and all that?
I mean, if you could forward that to me after the hearing, that would be helpful.
to Mr. Hampton to do that?
Yeah, do you want me to? Yes, I could do that. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
Great.
conceptually, I just drew out, if you can see right
Yeah. Mhm.
here, a lower elevation for the garage, and then it steps up.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Wes, for going through that.
Sure.
Mr. Hampton, anything else you'd like to say in closing or otherwise before we adjourn here today?
Nope.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it at that. I have had a chance to review the staff report and almost all the application materials, but based on the discussions that we've had here today, I'm comfortable approving this project. I need to formalize that approval, which I'll do, of course, after I get those final drawings from Mr. Hampton. I'll formalize that approval in a written decision. As you know, Mr. Hampton, you've been through this before. That typically takes about 2 weeks. I'll do everything I can to get that out to you as soon as possible. As soon as you have that, we can approve the zoning on our end, and hopefully you can move forward. Any questions about anything?
Nope.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you all again for your time and your testimony. Mr. Hampton, I'll look for those documents coming from you, hopefully sometime today. And that's it. Hope you all have a great day. Good luck with the project.
Thank you.